trying to say that the spaceship looked like a DC-8. That's ridiculous. Or that the volcanoes were around in Hawaii 75 million years ago. Anything that you can disprove in that with logic will help you get there. And it did for me. That's all I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to sound like a complete buffoon talking about Prince Jeff and Planet Sassy. But that's the point, is it's all obviously written by a science fiction writer and not someone with insight to some incident on the whole track millions of years ago. Right? The point is that's what started it for me. And then reading enough and figuring enough and learning about the power of suggestion and putting it all together, that's why I'm here. But by the time I'd figured everything out, Anonymous had already started, and that was pretty incredible to watch this group of people actually take a stand. And it was hard not to be out there with y'all, and I just want to say I'm glad I'm here now.
So if there's anything that you would want to say to anyone who's still in, whether they be in Bridge or or up in Celebrity Center or whatnot, what would you be able to say to them now?
Well, the funny thing is that none of them will see this, and that's for a reason. I've seen kids get computers in the Sea Org. They got a new laptop from their parents for Christmas, and the security come in and rip out the online, the Wi-Fi card or the connection for the hard line or anything, so that no internet was possible. Okay, the internet is the biggest enemy of the Church of Scientology because it is truly free information, and that is what is destroying the church. But if I had a magic portal into the bedrooms at night when they weren't, when Big Brother wasn't watching, and I could say anything to them, I'd just say, I know exactly what you think because I thought it too. And I just hope that you never stop asking questions, because that's what it's all about. You ask yourself questions that you're afraid to say out loud because you're afraid of being seen as someone who's disaffected, someone who is in need of the RPF because they're not with it anymore. They're not 100% on source. They're not 100% on command intention. And but if they just ask questions and they never stop asking questions, at least to themselves, eventually they'll get an answer, a real answer, and some real insight to the fact that Scientology is a scam, and L. Ron Hubbard was a con artist, and they are the living proof of that. And it's really embarrassing to figure that out, and it's really hard to realize that you are a tool. But that's where the healing begins, and it has begun for me, and I'm so grateful. I'm sleeping like a baby now. I mean, I had reoccurring nightmares of being back in the Sea Org ever since I left, waking up in the sweats. Oh my God, I'm back! It's terrifying. It was my biggest fear for a long time, is just being back in the Sea Org and not knowing how I got there or how to get out again. I mean, horrible. But I sleep like a baby now because I'm not keeping anything in. I am now once again reunited with my freedom of speech, and I plan on never giving that up again. And I really hope that those people in the Sea Org, my friends, good people, I hope that they can get their freedom of speech back one day too, because it will do them a world of good, much more so than any end phenomenon of any Scientology auditing or any process or any training is going to give them, because they are living in hell right now. They're putting themselves through it, as we all were, but it's so hard to walk away from that. You have so much pressure, and you feel so much shame walking away. It is the walk of shame, and it takes forever, and it takes so much not to give up. My cousin kept trying to leave and kept going back to post. He kept trying to leave and kept going back to post because you keep giving up on yourself because it's so much pressure. And finally he blew, and then he came back, and then he blew, and then he came back, and finally they just gave up on him the same way they gave up on me, you know. And I feel really bad for him because his father was declared a suppressive person in the 90s for taking a refund from the Church of Scientology, and we were all ordered to disconnect from him, and he did disconnect from his dad. And then the 10th of December, this last year, he just killed himself because he had a lot of problems, and he was alone for a very long time. And he was abandoned by his family, including me. I was his family, my Uncle Bob, man. And I dished him out just like the rest of them. His daughter never did disconnect, thank God, and his son, for the last couple of years, actually did establish some communication back with him, kind of figuring out that maybe the people telling him what to do shouldn't be telling him what to do. And that's all I'll say there, because it's his own choice to speak out if he likes. But he lost his dad because his dad didn't get the help he needed. He struggled with drugs and alcohol, those kind of problems. But unfortunately, Scientology doesn't actually offer the solutions to those people. Not real solutions. You know, where were we when he needed a real intervention? We weren't there. Where were we when he needed real treatment? We weren't there. Yeah, oh, here's Narconon. Go for it. Get your TRs in Narconon. Sweat it out in Narconon. And at least I know that he's in a better place. I'm not saying it's heaven. I'm not saying it's the ground. I'm just saying that I know that he doesn't have that pain anymore, because he was in a lot of pain, and he must have to take his own life, and I just hope he does indeed rest in peace.